Maringa now reports this means that no school should admit a student who has not been released formally from the previous school.
In the last few weeks, there has been an increase in cases of unrest and arson in a number of secondary schools in the country. This has led to wanton destruction of property. In the latest directive through a circular sent to regional directors of education and county directors of education, Education and Basic Education Principal Secretary Dr. Julius John has directed that all students involved in any form of indiscipline are not allowed to transfer to any other school. Therefore, no school should admit a student who has not been released formally by the previous school.
Banning is a criminal act. Destroying property is a criminal act. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the age of a learner. If you decide to ban and destroy property, you'll be declared a criminal. And therefore, with the banning that is going on currently, we are requesting and asking the security officers to make sure they conduct thorough investigations and the learners responsible prosecuted.
The ministry has also directed all secondary school boards of management to convene and share indiscipline resolutions with county directors of education. Furthermore, the government has said it will not contribute even a shilling for repairs of school buildings damaged by rioting students.
Any learner, any student who thinks that putting the lives of other students in danger and banning property is a way of solving a problem will face the full force of the law, and they have themselves to blame, because thereafter they are going to make their lives very difficult in terms of in future when they're seeking clearance, the certificate of good conduct when they're looking for jobs.
The PS has also faulted those of the school of thought that the cases of arson are due to stress from coronavirus. According to him, the statistics show otherwise. At least 20 secondary schools have reported cases of arson, with most students in the institutions sent home indefinitely. George Maringa, KTN News, Nairobi.
Thank you, George. And as we get granular with matters academia, my colleague Clement Masombo is speaking to a Kuppet official in Nyeri County on the school unrest and the possible solutions. Clement, over to you.
The rise of arson in secondary schools have been witnessed across the country, and a permanent solution is yet to be established. And just to speak, in Nyeri County last week, we witnessed about 24 students arraigned in court in Karatina Law Courts. They were charged with arson, and today, this morning, 11 others, 3 from Kagumo High School and 8 others from Kiandu Secondary School, are said to be arraigned in Nyeri Law Courts to answer to the charges of attempted arson. And we are yet to establish what exactly is pushing the students. Initially, there were reports that maybe they were doing that to push for because they had been denied their midterm holiday. But then the ministry issued a circular indicating that the students are supposed to go on their midterm holidays next week, early next week. And now I want to speak to the executive secretary of the Kuppet in the Nyeri branch, Mr. Francis Wanjohi, just to give us a light, to give us light on what exactly could be ailing. What, Mr. Wanjohi, from where you stand, what do you think is exactly the problem? Because from the conversation we had with you last week, we were maybe thinking that it could have been because of too much pressure in the school, students needed a break, but then the ministry appeared to have heeded their pressure and they were allowed to go for the midterm holiday, although that is supposed to happen next week. But we are still witnessing cases of arson in schools. What is it that could be the problem?
Thank you very much. First of all is to thank the government for the action that they took by giving them the midterm that we thought that it would maybe do something to quell the problems that have been there. But it seems now the problem is not just the midterm break. I think the main issue now here is about knowing exactly what is happening. And the government should establish structures from the grassroots For example, the multi-agency task forces from the grassroots, that is at sub-county level, they discuss, they try to establish what is really causing all these problems in schools. Then from the sub-county level, the same committee, they elect or they select about 3 representatives. They go at the county level. At the county level, they all converge. They are all the sub-counties. They discuss the issue, the issue at hand. Then after that, the counties establish now or elect some few members. They go to the regional level, and the regional level, they go to the national level. From that level, from the regional level, now they can go and join the national task force on education, and they discuss all these issues. And from that, I know they can be able to know exactly what is really happening, and this should involve everybody, all the stakeholders including the teachers, including the education officials, including the parents, including all other important stakeholders, educationists, psychologists, and everybody. Because this is a thing that I think it has gone out of hand now. And these students, it seems that indiscipline is playing a very major role. And the issue should be addressed again. The issue of those students going to court, I think the law should take its own course. Again, we should not, this is not the time for the blame games. Yesterday, I heard somebody or some people blaming the teachers. This is very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. This is now creating more problems. I know the way teachers are doing all their work, very, very diligently. Some of them are not sleeping. They are always with the students all the time, from 7 at night up to almost in the morning. They are with the teachers, and that is why some of the schools you have heard that they have been able to get the petrol, whatever, with the students, and they have taken action. But again, it's also very, very crucial that these students should be guided. These institutions are theirs, and therefore, when they ban, it's only that when they do that, they are punishing their parents, because by the end of the day, these are the parents that will be able to rebuild those dormitories that they have destroyed. And for those who have gone without destroying, is a bit better. But again, why go home? Why go home? Why don't you address your issues, the students?
And that, Mr. Wanjohi, brings me to my question, that is it a problem of poor parenting or lack of guiding and counseling, or is it an issue of, could it be an issue of that these young ones are not being listened to? And if that might be the case, does it mean that banning the schools or the dormitories or the classrooms, whichever it is it the best way, that is it the only thing that they can do so that they can be listened to?
Banning the schools is not a solution. Banning the dormitories. In fact, most of them are banning the dormitories. And as KUPPET, we have always said that the issue of boarding schools should be relooked. And that is why for these boarding schools, a time will come when we can say that let the boarding school be very private. If these parents want their students or their children in boarding schools, they can make their own arrangements, so that now we avoid these things. Because these kids, they don't burn their houses at home. Why go at school and burn? But I think the issue here is about discipline. And discipline is something that is all-sided, and it should involve everybody. Teachers, I know they are doing their work. I know, like now, this time when these things are happening, teachers are working around the clock. They are disciplining the students in the right way, but again, most of them now have gone home. What are the parents doing at home? I don't blame the parents wholesome, because I have said this is not the time for blame games. But now, when they go home, let them be guided. Let them be guided by the parents from home, so that now, when they come back to school, the teachers will be able to reinforce whatever is happening. So I think the issue here is to address the main cause, to know the root cause, because it's like these kids had agreed there before that they are going to do something. Because now, even after being given midterm, most of the people thought that midterm is whatever, but it was not the main issue, because they have gone so many even after that. Even today, they are still going, though at this time they are not destroying the properties, most of them. But I would insist that everybody play his part. If it is the government, let them play their part. For example, those who have been arraigned in court, let the law take its own course. Because we have never had a student who is thoroughly punished. But we know there are laws that are there. They should not be protected so much that they become so indisciplined. Because the moment 2 or 4 are punished according to the law thoroughly, I know it will be a lesson to the others.
And maybe finally, do you think, as an education stakeholder, do you think that it's high time we should reintroduce the corporal punishment in schools? Maybe that could somehow help in curbing such vices?
Corporal punishment has been there before. It was stopped, but I know it is also taking its toll. But this is not the right time. This is not the right time. The way these kids are doing, if we just say we'll introduce a corporal punishment, they'll just resist. But gradually, this can be done, but in a way that it will not be harmful to anybody, and it can be done whereby some teachers, maybe the principal, deputy, or the senior teachers can be assigned that duty, so that it is done in a systematic and well-planned manner, so that those issues of injuring the student in a way will be curbed. But I think it is very, very important. Remember, even during our times, we were caned thoroughly, and we were so much disciplined. But those are those years. We are in another era now. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wanjohi. Right, that's Mr. Francis Wanjohi, the Executive Secretary of KUPPET Nyeri branch, and he's giving a number of suggestions. Maybe the last one he said we should consider introducing corporal punishment, but it should be in a systematic way in which it will not cause any harm to the students, and maybe also suggesting that those who are involved in committing crimes in schools should be punished thoroughly, based on what the law recommends for students. That's all from Nyeri, and we shall keep updating more on this.
Thanks, Clement Masombo there with Matters Masombo from Masombo, I should say, from Nyeri. And of course, we want also to put our eyes on what is happening with the 7th Devolution Conference. Remember, that was affected adversely because of a COVID-19 pandemic. And right now, I will be joined momentarily by Daniel to just tell us more about that after break, and we'll give you full details.